Hey there, let's talk about the Taurus new moon. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Sunday, April 27th, and the new moon is today. So, yesterday I shared about the Mars Pluto opposition, which we can't talk about the Taurus new moon without talking about the Mars Pluto opposition. So definitely check out that in-depth video that I shared on for Saturday, April 26th. If you missed that one about the Mars-Pluto opposition and this Taurus new moon from today. So because I covered quite a lot in yesterday's video, really diving into taking apart the planets, the signs, what this Mars-Pluto opposition how it has evolved over time, what the shift of Pluto from Capricorn into Aquarius brings in terms of a different vibe, as well as Neptune going into Aries. So, kind of covered a lot of territory, and you can see that we are really in times of shift and change. And the April 26th Mars Pluto opposition really is bringing completion to this theme that we've had of this polarity dynamic between action and courage and the warrior energy, sort of at odds with Pluto, which is about power and transformation. So again, there's a lot of different angles to look at this Mars-Pluto opposition from. And I tried to give you some tips and tricks for how to think about it and how to approach it from your own, whatever's developing or evolving in your own life, and where you are stepping up into new paths and new projects and new things that are moving forward, new sense of self, right? So yesterday's, or depending on when you're watching this video, the exact Mars-Pluto opposition, I think I mentioned the degree, but not the time. It is exact between 6 and 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. So if you're in Europe, it's really on Sunday. And later in the evening, if you're on East Coast time. And I won't even pretend to do the quick mental math about other time zones if you're in Australia, etc. But at any rate, so looking at today's new moon in Taurus, and we touched on it yesterday, but I want to talk a little bit more about how this Taurus energy and starting a new moon cycle brings in the qualities of how we sustain something going forward. How do we put what we've been learning into practice? So, Aries brings the energy of trial and error, of risk taking, of speaking up, moving things. So, it's it is not well thought through ways of moving. And so it's spontaneous, it's direct, it's emergent. Right? I had that one of my videos was emergency or emergence, right? So we have this energy of emergence with the with Neptune going into Aries, and the moon cycle that we are finishing up now that began with the Aries solar eclipse. So we've had a lot of this Aries energy. We will continue to have a lot of Aries energy now that Neptune is in Aries, bringing a focus to that fire sign and that need for action and courage. As new forms begin to be seen, right? So when a seed is under the ground, we don't see it. But when it germinates and starts to emerge, we get our first glimpse of what is actually there. And it's not, I mean, it has been there, right? It was under the ground all the time, but we couldn't see it. So, what is showing up in your life that you didn't know was there? that is coming into finding its way forward, that is starting to exist, right? New beginnings. So this Taurus new moon is beginning the next moon cycle that will be about how we implement, embody, put into practice what we are discovering, what we are noticing, right? What we are seeing come out of the ground. So when that little seed germinates and we start to see the first little sprout emerging, how do we need to tend to it, right? To nourish it, to sustain it so that it can grow and thrive and continue on its path to becoming what it is here to become. And so, something in your life, a project, a new direction, a new awareness, something new in your life. Maybe it's a new relationship, maybe it's a new home, I don't know, right? A new car, I don't know. Something is new. And that as that new thing is starting to sort of be seen, this is all about how do you want to sustain that? How do you want to keep that going? And it could be an idea, right? How are you going to sustain this idea and cultivate it and support it and nourish it so that it can continue to grow and become what it is ultimately going to become, which you can't know the future, but you can see glimpses of it, right? And yesterday I talked about imagining that vision for the future and connecting with the physicality of it. So, connecting through your senses to what brings meaning to your life. Imagining problems being solved, imagining answers, imagining new systems, new things that work better, new ways of taking care of one another and creating society, and imagining our collective ways of forming agreements and doing things. So there are struggles right now. There are very, very real struggles for freedom, for independence, for not being a monarchy, right? And this country has its roots in freedom and establishing independence. So this is all unfolding and playing out around us. We all have some sort of role to play in, and so it's imperative that we connect with what feels meaningful to us and how we can participate. Again, baby steps. Baby steps are more powerful because they are more uh, they allow you to move in new directions. So you don't know everything, you don't have it all figured out, but the baby steps help you figure it out. They help you grow stronger and more clear over time. So find the baby step, even if that is just saying, I can't do it today. That's even a baby step. Because if you are finding yourself overwhelmed, taking that baby step of saying, I cannot take this on today. I'm going to I'm going to go do what I need to do. I'm going to go to the river, go to the beach, stay in bed, read a book, like right? Right? Because what is that? That is an act, Aries, Aries courageous act of reclamation of your sense of self and the need to nourish and care for what you are capable of becoming, right? So maybe you need a day off so that you can continue to move on your journey to making a positive difference or being more functional yourself so that you're not the one who needs to be taken care of, and or you're able to do more independently with more freedom, and that it could be a theme as well. So there's lots of different ways this could show up, but imagining that future imagining that problem being solved, feeling it in your body, breathing it into your body, but also imagining the sounds, the tastes, the smells. Like, what does it look like, feel like, taste like when that problem is solved, when the thing is being done in a way that feels much more in alignment with healing and truth and caring and love and whatever is that bigger picture, that of a principle that has meaning for you, caring for other people, um, freedom, independence, right? Like any of these things could be a bigger picture principle that can become your guiding light, your beacon that you can connect yourself to and say, am I doing something that is in alignment with freedom? Am I doing something that is in alignment with love and caring for my neighbors, for my community? Whatever it is for you, find that thing, and then you can just ask yourself, is what I'm choosing going to further me along this path to the future outcome I can imagine? So also we want to think about with Taurus, the and the fixed signs, right? The Mars Pluto opposition I shared about yesterday, being in fixed signs, and thinking about how fixed signs can be, they are there to keep things going, not to initiate, not to complete or release, but to sustain, to maintain. And so the energy, especially of Taurus, is about it's about looking at where you might be attached, but also where you are implementing. So not being attached to things that don't work. Right? Have you ever had a piece of furniture, or I don't know, an object that, has special memories, and you don't really like the object, but you can't get rid of it because it has these special memories, or it belonged to somebody or something, whatever. Or there's this piece of furniture that's just really worn out, but you can't, it's your favorite, right? Or an old pair of jeans, right? You can't get rid of it because it belongs there. How can you get rid of it? So look for places like that where you might have attachment, and instead of attachment, think of, how can I put something in motion, keep it in motion, so that I am nourishing this thing that I want for the future. Does that make sense? So that you're nourishing that little seedling, that little energy of something new that is starting, and you're finding ways to keep it going, to help it grow. And sometimes there might be, I mean, is Aries is about mistakes too. So keep in mind that you might try something, you might start something, and you might find, this is not gonna keep going. It was meant to be tried, but there's also a point where we let go, and we don't, it's not worth continuing to invest in. So be clear about what you are investing in and why it matters. Look at that word matter. Matter is about the material world, and earth signs, Taurus. What matters? What is solid? What grounds you? What keeps you in that space of hope and caring and creativity and connection? So what matters to you? And that will be our theme for this moon cycle, is thinking about what matters. And in past years, in the Taurus moon cycle, we've done a gratitude practice. So that would be great too. And I'll try to get more on board with that, to remind you of thinking about what you're grateful for, because as we focus on the future, we want to also connect with what is going to help us on this path to supporting the things that we want to see emerge and continue to emerge, and continue to unfold in their possibilities and become solutions to things from the past that no longer work, right? Sometimes we have to get rid of that really worn out old piece of furniture, the old jeans. It's really time to let them go and bring in something new that actually works better. Thanks for being here. I'm Marina Orms, and I am so excited to invite you to my new member site. If you haven't taken a look yet, click on the links in the description for this video. There are articles there. There's one about Mars, the Mars opposition to Pluto, which is called Mars Enters Leo, how to be the hero you want to see in the world. So read that. There's also a healer spotlight, how to take care of yourself as if you see yourself as a holistic healer or doing a holistic healing process for yourself. So how to think about sustaining yourself through trying times, and lots more there. There's going to be more. I'm going to keep adding to it, and we'll have some more learning opportunities and whatnot in there. So check it out. Join if you are so moved. And thank you so much for being here and subscribing to this YouTube channel. I appreciate your support. I'm Marina Orms. You can find me at astrologyheals.com, and I will see you next time with more astrology for unshakable self-care. I'm here every day. Bye for now.